During this training session, firefighters were going over how to wiggle their way through wires in a tight space and also being prepared for any challenge put in front of them.
Guys are here every Thursday night at 6 o'clock doing some kind of training, whether it's pumping, fire extrication of vehicles, hazardous materials, any of the incidents we might encounter, we're going to be training on them throughout the entire year.
This may look uncomfortable for them, but it benefits the firefighters significantly.
The confined space training, which is it's a small box with a bunch of wires in it, and it's meant to replicate what would happen if you're in a building where there's wires that you could get caught in, or a small space you can get stuck in.
While these firefighters train, they also take a trip back to the classroom.
All the guys you see here today have completed either level 1 or level 2, or are in process of completing those classes. Those are approximately 180-hour course. So it's like a semester-long college class.
But one firefighter in the group is actually a full-time college student who wanted to experience the department's workouts and ended up liking everything about being a firefighter.
I actually joined first because I heard about the workouts that we did here, so I joined for that. And then after that I got into it and I ended up really liking it. It's not that bad. Some nights you don't get as much sleep as you'd like, but it's worth it.
Matt Trito, News 7, Lyndonville.
While the calendar still says winter, the puddles on the ground tell a different story. The unusual warm temperatures today forced piles of snow to start to melt. Mark Breen, a senior meteorologist for the Fairbanks Museum, says the warm weather is nothing significant for our region and that it will be leaving our area as soon as tomorrow.
There'll still be some mild air around for the weekend, but right now it looks like the weather pattern is getting ready to shift around again, and suggestions are that the first half of March will be very winter-like.
Now, the sunshine has put smiles on the faces of a bunch of Vermont residents. However, there are also a bunch of Vermont residents who would just like to see some consistent weather because they know that this sunshine isn't going to last and that temperatures are going to drop by tonight.
It's just unseasonably warm. Everything's melting, and by tomorrow it's going to freeze. It's just a mess right now.
Of course, there are those who appreciate the sunshine and the warm weather and are happy to just get a few days of temperatures above freezing.
Snowshoeing and different activities outside, ice fishing, things like that. It's much more enjoyable with the weather way it's been recently.
Kieran Brisson, News 7, St. Johnsbury.
Brian Horble has been drumming since he was 10 years old, and after a while, he decided to try the unusual.
I never really thought of it before, because it's not really a mainstream thing. Now, pipe bands, bagpipe bands, aren't really a everyday occurrence in many places of the United States.
He loves to teach this type of drumming to kids and adults, and especially likes seeing their skill grow as well as their passion.
A little more, right there. Good, you already have the technique. I find it to be a challenge and very relaxing, and to see, I'll say, the new generation kind of come into it and be able to say, okay, look, this is something they really enjoy on their own level in their own space, but also it's a heritage.
Brian stepped out of his comfort zone by trying to tackle the bagpipe, and it was quite the experience for him.
It's a whole nother animal to me. When I look at the bagpipes, it's so foreign to me. I could play a drum kit. That makes sense to me. I could understand where all the symbols in that are, but when it comes to the octopus instrument, I have no idea.
Matt Trito, News 7, St. Johnsbury.
The National School Walkout is to protest Congress's refusal to take action on the gun violence epidemic plaguing our schools and neighborhoods. Our elected officials must do more than tweet thoughts and prayers in response to this violence.
A lot of times when these issues happen, we talk about it, which is very important, and that's what's to be expected, but sometimes silence is unexpected, and that captures more attention.
We are walking out for all people who have experienced gun violence, including systemic forms of gun violence that disproportionately impact Black teens and brown communities. It is important that when we refer to gun violence, we do not overlook the impact of police brutality and militarized policing, or see police in schools as a solution.
I came out here today because I think us as a generation have grown up in this reality that it's become normalized of gun violence, walking into school and feeling that fear of not knowing whether you will leave, not knowing whether your siblings will leave, not knowing if your parents will be able to ever see you again. And I don't believe that's right.
We raise our voices for action against all these forms of gun violence today.
The sound of silent footsteps walking through halls with at least 50 people there was incredible.
I want to see this movement happening nationally. I want to see change.
News 7's Matt Trudeau is at the mountain tonight with a look at how things went today. Matt.
Thank you, Andrew. I'm currently here at the Berg Mountain Mid-Lodge, where all has been quiet tonight, but earlier today, all season pass holders got to experience the trails a day earlier than the general public. Now, the official opening of the mount is tomorrow, and mountain officials said that this is the earliest they've opened in over a decade. The lifts were going for the first time in a 2017-2018 season today, as Berg Mountain opened for its season pass holders and staff. Tomorrow, the general public will get their turn, and the mountain says it's all systems go.
We're excited to be ready to go, and this is what we build for starting at the end of last winter. We're getting ready for this winter, so it's great to actually have snow falling and open for skiers.
Open for skiers with new ways to give them a better experience.
It's about change. This year we have some great new snowmaking improvements that are helping us get more snow on the mountain sooner, and the new T-bar, which is a new piece of equipment that will get skiers up our training hill and up to some new trails faster.
Season pass holders took advantage of the day they got to themselves.
They did a wonderful job today. Yeah, I mean, they laid out a really nice trail system to get top to bottom. They produce a really good product here, I think, anyway, and I'm very satisfied with it, very satisfied.
There were 4 trails open for all the skiers today, and tomorrow the mountain will open up the doors to the public starting at 9 a.m. For News 7, I'm Matt Trudeau, live at Berg Mountain. Back to you.